and it has to come through an administrator if you see that happen. We know that bullying is aggressive behavior, and it's usually repeated. It's not just one instance of a student being mean to another student. It's a pattern. All cases must be documented and then investigated. And as I said before, the definition of bullying is a pattern. It can be gestures, it can be words, it can be physical bullying, cyberbullying. And middle school, they see more of the cyberbullying than we do in elementary. But I'm sure we still have 4th and 5th graders who here's a diagram of the cycle of bullying. And our goal as teachers, we want to get to those kids who are the disengaged onlookers, the passive defenders, and the defenders. Those are the kids that we want to empower and let them know that they do have power in numbers and they can stand up against bullies. Those are the kids who just kind of feel, they don't like what they're seeing, but they are disengaged. So we want to empower them and give them strength and tell them how to report those instances of bullying that they see. Okay, bullying can take many forms: physical, verbal, nonverbal, and cyberbullying. I'm sure you've seen all of these happen throughout your years of teaching. This is the law that we abide by, and that's why I'm delivering this in service, that we have to report incidences of bullying, and there's a certain way, certain steps we have to report them. Caddo has a 0 tolerance for bullying. If we see it, that's why we have to go through the certain steps to report it and to document. Okay, these are your duties as an educator and as a faculty. When we work with children, we have to intervene immediately, follow through, follow up with victims, follow up with the bullies. Make sure you interview both parties, and also follow up with parents. And most importantly, document. Okay, some of the most harmful things that we can do as teachers is to tell the student to solve the problem by themselves, to tell the student that bullying won't happen if they acted differently, to ignore what's going on, or to tell the student to stop tapping. The most helpful things that we can do is to listen, empower those who are, the passive bystanders, check in with students afterwards to see if bullying has stopped, and give the student advice. We're going to skip the statistics. I will email you this. So, bullying of students by teachers. I'm sure that this has never happened to anyone. But calling students by names, making fools of students, or making fun of them, using sarcasm, treating them differently, embarrasses them when they don't understand right away or they don't answer fast enough. And then if the student has the feeling of, I know my teacher doesn't like me, maybe because they feel like they're being treated unfairly or picked on. Okay, cyberbullying. We know that it's different when it's not face-to-face. Kids feel more aggressive when they can do it behind a screen. They say things that they wouldn't normally say or do things they wouldn't normally do if it was a face-to-face incident. Facebook, a lot of our kids have Facebook accounts, even though they're, like 10? That's so young, but they do. Instant messaging and text messaging, those chats like Kik, those apps that they can anonymously text each other or text people they don't know. It could be a 50-year-old man and they're pretending to be another 12-year-old girl. There's an app called Poof, and what Poof does is it, on a child's device, it makes all of their other apps disappear. So they can hide any app with this app called Poof. So on their screen, you won't see any.
Hold on.
It has its own little icon, but it's hidden as something else. I haven't looked into it, but if you'll look it up on your app store, just investigate. I know.
I do.
But those are just some ways that they do these things without necessarily parents knowing. And then about Snapchat. Snapchat. You can take a picture and then it goes away in like 10 seconds, but then you can screenshot it and it's there forever. Online safety. Okay. Children often want to know why they're being targeted, why they're being bullied. It could be because they're different than their peers. They may have a disability, which is that's really sad that they are picked on because of being either physically weak or they show signs of depression or anxiousness. They don't have a lot of friends. Poor income families and LGBT children can all be targeted. Students who are bullied may exhibit signs of lower self-esteem, fear, school phobia, afraid to come to school, wanting to check out a lot, feeling sick at school, feeling physically ill. Okay, so legally, how we respond to the acts of bullies is how we are held accountable. We need to, like I said before, and I've said several times, we need to document, investigate, call in administration. And this is a repeated behavior. This is a repeated action. It's not just a one-time child being mean to someone else. But, however, if a single incident creates a hostile environment, or if it is a severe enough situation, then legal action can be pursued. And these are ways that bullying is illegal. Okay, they've coined a term bullycide is when a child commits suicide because of being bullied. And this is happening more and more. To ensure our students' safety, we don't want to ignore any allegations of bullying, investigate, and document. And I've copied this slide and then the one after it. If you want to use any of these in your classroom, they're just good things that you can tell students if they report bullying to you or if they report that they've been bullied. Okay, and this is our compliance training so that we are in compliance with the law. I will email you this PowerPoint so that you can have it and reread it. Like I said, it's supposed to be a 2-hour redelivery. You will earn 2 CLUs for this in-service. The state forms, okay, here are the reporting procedures. And I want to just show you this really quick. This is what the form looks like from the state that we report incidences of bullying. This is an investigation form, and then the reporting form looks very similar if I can find it. Okay. Okay, here's the reporting form, and these are on the LDOE website, and then here is the investigation form. There are other forms that go along with reporting instances of bullying and building cases for bullying. They're all on the State Department website. If we ever come to a time when we need that, and you've gone to an administrator and we know that there is, we need to go forward with that, we'll help you out with these, so don't worry about that. But there are forms, so just know that it does have to be documented correctly. Common sense is like deodorant. The people who need it most never use it. Okay. This is our reporting procedures, and like I said, just notify the administrator and we'll help you. Okay. The parents have to be notified when we initiate an investigation into bullying. And this is the end of our PowerPoint and the end of our bullying presentation. Like I said, I will email this out because I know that we did a very abbreviated version. If you also would like a copy of the PowerPoint, please let me know and I will make you a copy. If you need help with the forms, please let me any questions about bullying and reporting bullying? Okay. Next we're gonna move on to classroom management, and Ms. McKinnon, Ms. Tidwell, and Ms. Spear.
I know you guys can read, so I'm not gonna go through everything.
Please don't
But
tell
they're
me to
looking
stay
for
for
your
not
management of
keeping it like
transitioning, they're looking for your management of your materials. Make sure you have taught your students the procedures to do that, and don't waste time. Make sure you have all your materials in one place. Be prepared. Always be prepared, because it cuts down on the time you're gonna waste. And they're looking for proficient, and to be proficient, they're looking for little loss of instruction. Teacher manages an instruction in groups and handling the materials and supplies consistently and successfully with minimal guidance from the teacher. The students can do this without you standing over them going, okay, you need to do this, this, and this. They know how to do it. It's there. They know how to present it to them, to their classmates. The students are productively engaged. Make sure that the entire time you're doing all this, that they're engaged. The transitions between large group and small group go smoothly. And routines or distribution and collection of materials are taught. It's a procedure that has to be taught before they get there. And classroom routines function smoothly. They are looking for that, and they will not mark you off for it.
Well, I just want to come to you all with some strategies for classroom management. And the first thing I did was go to Kagan, because many of us have had training, and we all know that's something that our administrators are really looking for. And so one of the first things that Kagan says for classroom management is to have signals, so that someone's not constantly disrupting the class with, I gotta go, Miss McKinnon, I gotta go to the bathroom. So I know in my class, and I got this from Miss Steer years ago, we put our hand on our head if we have to tinkle or go to the bathroom. And some people, if they have to sharpen their pencil, they have, put their twos up for sharpening their pencils. But Kagan says, okay, now I printed this, and I can barely see it. So hold on. All right. Kagan says, okay, adopt or adapt some of the many signals. Okay, I just cannot hardly read this. Just to that point of line. But anyway, what are some signals that you all use in your classroom for classroom management? I told you about our tinkle signal. What do y'all use? Miss Rogers?
1 for the bathroom, 2 for the pencil, and 3 for a tissue.
Yes, because that's so disruptive.
Water, but now I just don't have time for that.
Right. And we all get to do hands in the air, give me 5. Some people might still do give me 5.
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know if I have a student who's particularly disruptive, I'll give them the eyeball, I'll say, I'm looking at you. And that way I don't have to scream, Jamie, again, you are talking. And then I disrupt the whole class, but if I just give them the eyeball signal, they know. So that was another, that was something that was really important. Another thing is, we do so much teamwork, and you can waste so much time trying to get people back together. I know Moser loves the eyeballs, and I've even started using the eyeballs. And another thing that really works with my class this year is I'll just give them like a closed fist instead of that give me 5, and they'll all close their fist, and kind of means, hush your mouth, or get them back on task. So signals was a big thing, and also if you're using the Essential 5, the Rally Robin, Time Pair Share, Round Robin, Rally Coach, and look for that other Essential 5, Hand Up, Stand Up, Hair Up. Those are all things that keep children engaged, and if they're engaged, then management is typically not a problem. But anyway, I know we were all supposed to gather some data today for the meeting about management, so we just want to see what y'all came up with, if it is effective or what you gathered. I know we all did that.
Yes, classroom management strategies. Yes.
Yes, strategies.
Go for it.
When we leave the classroom to go back to our seat, I may do one back to your seat like a quiet out, and then they all tip.
Yeah, they love that stuff.
Or walk like an old man, and then they all, but they're quiet.
And they're quiet, and they're tickled to be quiet.
And some people like use music, for transition, and that's just a cue.
And kindergarten does their bubble.
Yes, I see them running around their fish face. And Miss Daniel, I hear her over there, class, what's that business y'all do?
Whole grade.
Tell, teach it.
Class
555.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
yes.
Okay, well, they're doing that. Yeah, so anyway, what did y'all share with your grade levels?
I saw a video on YouTube, I haven't done it yet, but when the kids would line up to go whole group somewhere, she would give them a word and they would step how many syllables were in the word.
Oh, that's fab.
Like they take it 2 steps or 3 steps or 1.
Especially for kindergarten, breaking syllables done anyway. And just our flipped and zipped is a great strategy, you know? I mean, it gives them a clue word. Yeah, it is. It's hard to do that. And if you're flipped and zipped, and you got the bubble face, and you got a bunch of things going on. Yes.
Okay, I've been asked to share what I do with mine. If they need to like face the board or like I need their undivided attention, it's really hard for them, so they like play in their desks and stuff. You know, that drives me nuts. So what they do is I'll tell them that they're going to get in their independent learning position,
Oh, that's cute.
and I'll tell them whatever style it is, and I'll say go, and they have to count down from 10 in the style. So like if it's robot, they'll do like 10, 9, 8. So then they go like they get down to 1 and they go ready, 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 and they do this. And so we have opera style and they sing the 10, so like 10, 9, 8, and they're ready, you know. And we do ninja style where they can't make any noise and like, you know, this is ready. Anyway, so that just gets them, if like I really need them to really pay attention to what I'm doing, or like it's just like quick 5-minute instruction or something. So they just get to sing and dance.
And they remember that ninja business the rest of their life.
Yeah.
You know, remember
So
when
they
Miss
firework.
Barnett did the ninja with us? I mean,
Anyway.
so I think that's really cute. Really cute. Anyway, those are the wonderful strategies we have to share. The end of our presentation.
Oh, okay. Good afternoon, anyway. Just a few items I want to go over. Recess procedures, we're doing a good job, but there are a few things that we want to make sure that we're looking at, and it's primarily in the lower grades that we see that our students have an affinity for the wood chips, and they seem to be throwing them a lot. So I just ask those of us who are on duty if we can pay particular attention to that. And also, you know, we have some really ill students who want to get to the office at any time. So just assess the situation before you send them to the office, because I've seen some who have just a speckle scratching and they're ready to go to the office. So assess the situation before you send them to the office during that recess time. So I thought you had anything else to add?
I was just gonna say the wood chip deal, but you got it.
Okay, all right. Just some housekeeping items. We just want to make sure that we're looking at.
I think a lot of my kids didn't have ants in the wood chips.
Okay. Okay.
They're horrible. Ants are.
Well, I'm pretty sure that we have to limit our pesticide use. So if we need to, let's just go to the grass area, encourage them to play on the grass area, or we can rotate the. By the time the 3rd grade is out there, I know that we have some. The 5th grade playground is clear at that time. Where the 5th grade plays. Everybody good? Okay. Next item now, Miss Monero. Now, I asked everybody to give me feedback, but nobody sent me an email. But Ms. Monero told me that some of you may have had some issues with the school store or whatever. So I want to ask, and so I understand, what can we do better to make that process go better? And in turn, also with the game room and things. So if there's, you know, anybody circling, or is everybody square with the school store? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Chilton.
Just with the game room, is it possible to send my kids when they reach a certain number to the game room, or does it have to be the only one?
Well, because there are so many of us and we have so many kids, you know, I would prefer. Now, what I am willing to do, and I think if you're going to be supervising them, you know, let that week be open for you, but you take them, and it would be your responsibility, but during that scheduled week.
Okay.
As far as school store goes, I think what we found, and you know, Tina and I were trying to watch to see what the points were turning into, that kind of stuff. The 50-to-1 conversion is really not working.
Okay.
Because basically every child that came to the school store got something.
Okay.
The problem what we're running into that we found is that if one child has 300 coins, another one has 340, so they're getting the same amount. So we're going to have to figure out a way to do the conversion a little bit differently. but I also don't think we wanna be in a situation where we end up where we make it so small that they come in with 25, 30 coins. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Any possible solutions to that? Now, I know, I understand that the attendance and all of those things are in there, and to me, the only way to address that would be to look at those, because those are given things.
Yeah, the other thing too is, I lost my train of thought, hold on. I lost it.
Well, the coins.
Oh, the coins, they need, we discussed that they need those coins to be able to hold.
Okay.
Especially the lower grades. Maybe not the upper grades, but for sure the lower grades, to be able to see if they have.
So a weekly distribution conversion of coin to dojo coins with that, or just,
Our group are, we kind of maybe need to read.
okay.
And maybe if anybody has any suggestions that they want to get with you, and then maybe we can kind of.
Okay, we'll do that. Any suggestions just outside of the committee that you all have, that you all think would make that process run a little
I
smooth?
didn't have any coins this
Well,
time.
no one had them this time because we didn't get them out that time, but we just converted that first time.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what we're saying, like, little kids need to know,
They
like, I
need to
have
know.
4 coins to spend.
right.
But will everything cost the same?
No.
Typically not. Yeah.
Now, the
This is
next
the
one,
first time.
we have, if I'm correct, Ms. O'Dowd, it's the bouncers for October, is that correct?
Right,
That's
and
what
we just need to
discussed.
decide how many coins
Okay,
It takes.
it takes to do that.
Okay.
We need to kind of look at our conversion.
so that will run a little different.
We won't go to the store.
The excess points, they don't carry over, I just thought to myself that they did and I wrote them down, I didn't know. Like,
The
like
excess
what you
point
were saying
can,
about the 340, having the 40 doesn't really go to 50, so I just
That's-
wrote all the
that's-
excess points down.
Yeah, that's something that needs to be
okay,
decided.
so, we'll meet PBIS and we'll discuss that. And if there are any suggestions to make the process go better, just let us know, okay? Okay, yeah, okay. Next item, now apparently you all had this in place, last year, but Ms. Monero felt as though that it is important to bring it back this year to make sure, because, not that I don't mind seeing it, because I love seeing you all coming in and out of my office, but it seems to be very frequent, so we want to make sure that we keep track of that. So those of us who have to leave at any time, whether that's just, I need to go to Circle K to get some cash out the ATM or something, at any time, just fill these things out. I know that we still have the sign out book and we'll still use this, but this is just an additional piece of documentation that we'll use. So are there any questions about that? So at any time that you need to leave campus, this will need to be filled out and it's signed by an administrator. Everybody clear about that?
Where do we get that?
They're in the back of the lounge, but I'll make sure that I put some additional ones inside the book.
Would you, somehow tell the aide,
I sure will. I sure will. Okay. All right. Yes, ma'am. Any questions about that process? The last item, again, on Friday, we had an unfortunate event, and I just wanted some feedback as to, I thought of a way, and you all just let me know what you think about that. Specifically, those of you. Let's come on. Those of you in the bus room, and just let me know if you all think, well, Ms. Jackson, I just don't think that'll work. Have you, in the past, taken like a role in the bus room that you know? Because we had an incident, we had a young man, pre-K, he got on the wrong bus. Now, he went to the right, from
Tell them
all.
what happened.
Okay, well, he was in the bus line and he was cutting in the bus line, so he got held up, and somehow, and he didn't know any better, he just got on the wrong bus. And so,
Like a teacher, though, said, like, pulled him out of the line and talked to him and was like, all right, go get in on your bus,
And he
go
just-
get back in line. And he's already, and so he just got in the line and got on a bus, like, because he's out of his routine.
right. And not that I'd like to burden you all with any more additional responsibilities, because I know you all have a lot to do. It's just a check that we have. Now, you all tell me if you all don't think that worked now. Mr. Jackson can tell you.
Once they leave our
I like the way you
classroom
put
and
that.
go to the bus.
Well, I'm just saying, just to check off, well, I know once they leave the class, but just to check off that they came to that bus room, that we can verify that they were in that bus room, because, okay, I think Ms. Minor has something to say.
How are we gonna keep track of all the students that check out during the day or are?
Well, now, all you're doing is checking if they came to your room.
Oh, I see,
What about
okay.
kids who are supposed to, like, on the roster that aren't there?
As soon as she's finished.
They're there.
No,
All-
like,
So that I clarify, all that I'm expecting you to do is just to check off the kid that came to your room. That's physically there. And what that does is that just gives us a further piece of documentation, just in case I have a Dylan Jones and come back and tell him, well, you did this. No, he was in the bus room, so we can understand wherever the process breaks down. You know, and I know that it was a small incident, but small incidents can become big. And so we just want to make sure that we have a process in place by which we check that. So bus room people, daycare people, is it too much or will it be too cumbersome to say that I can check off this student's name every day in my room? Will you have the time so we can just have that documentation there? Okay, and I'll get the sheet for you, and all I'm asking, in addition with the daycare. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you at least 2 minutes. Can you think you can do it 2 minutes? And what I can do is specifically those of you in the breezeway, if you can just be responsible for one daycare, and we can, if you'd like me just to go ahead and just assign it, or if you all can go to the point, well, I'm responsible for Kid Ventures, I'm responsible for Acro Sports.
You know, I'm all that used to, when you got on the bus, they would look, the bus driver would say, well, is so-and-so here?
Some do that.
And you would radio in and you'd find out they were absent. They would not leave until everyone that was supposed to be on their bus was on it.
Well, I don't think everybody has the same type of level of responsibility, because some just get on. Yeah.
They should at least know.
Now, I will ask that they do that additional measure, but just for us. Because, you know, that's transportation, but for university, I want to make sure that we have something in place.
You want to say, I'll take this daycare?
Yes, those of you in the breezeway, you would be a daycare. Excuse me, please. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Those of you in the breezeway, you would be responsible for a daycare. Those of you in the bus rooms, you would be responsible for that bus room. Now, again, with the daycare, if you'd like me to assign that daycare, just let me know. But if you just say, well, Ms. Jackson, we can get it, and we can just give that to you.
So what I'm hearing you say is you're gonna give us a list of the children that are supposed to be
Exactly.
daycare?
Exactly.
Bus or daycare?
Bus or daycare. And all you just have to, it's gonna have date, all you just have to just check.
And if they're not there, we call the office and see if they're absent.
Well, you let me know immediately, because you don't have to check attendance or anything. You just have to let me know if that kid is not there, then we can go ahead and look before they even load the bus. We know that they've gone perhaps to car ride line or.
You've just made it more complicated.
How did I make it more complicated?
You just totally just made it more complicated. You said, we just said, check it out.
That's it. That's all I,
Okay, but now you want me to check.
And somehow between our room and the bus,
I know.
the kid's not there.
I know that.
That's what he's saying.
That's all I,
I don't have to, like,
Not kidding.
no, you're not
Run you
looking for
down.
any kids. I mean, if we
Check
know,
'em off.
just check them off. That's it.
check them out.
So if we've got one,
So just check them out. Just check them out.
Oh, and thank you for bringing that up, Ms. Como. Now, I sent out an email about a week ago, and so I just want to make sure that everybody is clear. Now, walkers, we don't leave to what time? Just in case you've forgotten, what time? What time? I know everybody got it.
2:45.
2:45. Now that's just going to help us with, now Ms. Walthall says that it works just fine if walkers, so we don't have to worry about time or anything. So 2:45, that way that everybody else can get to where they need to go. All right? So that's clarified, right, Ms. Como? All right. So is everyone clear as far as the bus rooms and daycare? You circling or you square?
Just check it out.
We're gonna have to insist on quiet everywhere then.
to be able to go down and check out the these children are not gonna be able to follow. Even in that freeze flag, I'm blowing that whistle, and it doesn't matter.
Okay, well, we'll work on that, Ms. Camp. We're gonna work.
It's gonna be responsible to hear, you know, really, to be, they're gonna have to be in line, they're gonna have to follow all that.
Okay.
Mr. Jackson, along these lines, no one is picking up the tutoring children still.
Okay, now Miss Hamilton, that's what she's doing. So Miss Hamilton is coming from hall to hall, and she starts a little earlier. She's coming from hall to.
Not coming down, she came at 2:30 the other day. I'm in the middle of teaching, turning around for the
Okay.
last 5 minutes,
Well-
and she's like, I need tutoring, and I'm like, we haven't even paid it.
Okay, no problem. We'll address that.
If we could just have a time to make sure we have it ready.
Ours are going, like, she's not coming to our class.
No, she's coming to the hallway. She's coming to the second, third, and fourth grade hallway.
Well, it's not going down in that.
I think she's having a very hard time, talking about Miss Hamilton.
Yes.
She probably can't be.
I think she's having a very difficult time getting to all of those places.
Okay.
To pick up the kids. I was talking to her this afternoon, because she's always there, so, you know.
Yeah, she probably can't
She's
get to all
always
those
there.
places.
Today, she wasn't, and I just took a big, huge, long line.
Okay.
When I went, and I found her, and she said, I just couldn't get there in time, she apologized, and I said, well, I know that she's always there, and she said she was gonna come talk to you if there's another person who can take her, to
Might be one more person.
Okay.
She's got to go to all these different.
But maybe she could do fourth and fifth, and somebody else could do second and third.
We don't have any fourth grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone clear as far as the bus procedure? Any questions? And everybody's square, right?
We still need somebody to say grade walk.
Okay. Now second grade walkers, Miss Small is doing that. Yes, that's Miss Small's duty.
Is there any reason why the tutoring students can't walk up with Yep and like she can collect them all in one spot, like over underneath the breezeway?
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So that there's not another line,
Right,
there's not another person that has to show up.
Yeah.
They'll all walk.
Well, what I'll do, it's her responsibility to check them in, and so that's why we're just doing that. But if that works, I'll discuss that with her, and we'll see how that works for her. But thank you for that. Anybody else? Anybody else?
Can we please keep the fifth grade hall doors closed?
At what time?
Arnie the axe murderer
Okay.
is going to come in and kill us all. And he's gonna come in through those indoors. He's
coming to my room first.
He's gonna get
The
Penrod
playground
first.
doors.
Yes.
The red doors are always unlocked, and I keep going out there and locking them.
Okay, fifth grade hall.
We've got to keep the doors closed.
All right, thank you. Okay.